Hi students, I'm Sonia from Vidyaguru, starting a new session on current affairs. This session is for the month of May 2022. I'll start the session, but before starting, I want to tell you that I am conversing in English with you. That means I'm going to deliver the complete session in English medium. If you are not comfortable with the language, you can switch to the Hindi session that is also there in the playlist. We record a separate session in English medium, in complete English medium for our students majorly from South India, majorly from Northeast India, like students from Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana. Those students who are unable to understand Hindi well, we record a separate session for them in English medium. I'll start from here on, but I really wish to tell you something that I've put in a lot of efforts. I really expect a like from you, and share the video with your friends, those who are actually preparing for any competitive exam. Do subscribe to Vidyaguru's channel, YouTube channel if you have not till now. Do press the bell icon which is just beside the subscribe button. That's how you'll receive notifications of all the exam relevant videos which we upload. From here on, I really expect you to be focused. If you are focused, then only you will be able to retain these important questions in your brains. I'll start from the first question. Just look at the screen, keep looking at it and try to learn. First, I want to explain that we try to deliver topic wise current affairs, and there's a reason behind it, because you like studying topic wise. That is why you can see the heading is there, that is appointments and elections. That's the topic under which we are going to learn a lot many questions today, a lot many. And whichever question you are going to study, you will see that carries some significance for your exam. I'll start with the first question, which is about 25th numbers Chief Election Commissioner. The person who has become 25th numbers Chief Election Commissioner, he is Rajiv Kumar. He is just there in front of you. Try to recognize his face as well, because you are going to see him very often. Rajiv Kumar, 25th numbers Chief Election Commissioner. When I proceed with the second question, new Prime Minister of France. New Prime Minister of France. You can see the lady who is there. This beautiful lady is Elizabeth Borne, and she is from En Marche party. See, you can either call it En Marche or you can call it En Marche. Does not matter. The name of the party is important. That you have to retain, because at times in the exams they clearly ask, they provide you with the names of the person, of the candidate, like Elizabeth Borne. Straight away they'll ask you the names of the parties they belong to. That's why you have to retain the names of their parties too. She is the Prime Minister of France now. When you proceed, new President of CII. See, when I call it Confederation of Indian Industry, it is rarely used expanded form. You generally observe it as CII. When you look at the logo, whatever you actually read about it, you read it as CII only. New President of CII for the financial year 22-23, his name is Sanjeev Bajaj. See, you need to understand, if such an organization is there and a person who is obtaining such a rank, you need to understand he has to be somebody already to achieve such a rank. Please understand that. That is why I've actually, given you the picture here, so that probably if you are aware who Sanjeev Bajaj is, he is associated with some Bajaj, companies only. But I'm saying who he is. He is basically the CMD of Bajaj Finserv Limited. So the person always, please remember that if such an organization, if such a higher rank is given to somebody, that person already carries some higher rank. When you move to the next question, new Prime Minister of Australia. Look at this person, new Prime Minister of Australia. His name is Anthony Albanese. Anthony Albanese. He is from Labour Party. Again, going to stress, again going to emphasize the same thing. Labour Party is equally important as the name Anthony Albanese is. Now, after reading the four questions on one page, I hope you have realized that I am not going to deliver anything which is insignificant for you. So please understand that whatever I am teaching you, try to learn that. That is the sole purpose. Even if the repetition in the class is happening, if I actually deliver a video, a session, I try to repeat that so that you can retain it well. Try to learn the names immediately, and let's move to the next question after these four. Okay, the next question is about new president of UAE. I actually have, told you at the start. Today we are going to study a lot, many appointments, and we are going to see that who became the president or prime minister or so and so country. That is why again UAE is there, United Arab Emirates. You can see the fellow here. His name is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He has become the new president of UAE. New president of UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. That's the name of the person. He has become the new president of UAE. When you move to the next question, you need to look at it. This fellow has become the new chief minister of Tripura. New chief minister of Tripura. Now you must be thinking that why this person has become the chief minister of Tripura. You need to understand there was a chief minister already. The party decided to change it. The party is written over here. You can read that. Biplav Dev, he got replaced by Manik Saha now. So 11th chief minister of Tripura, Manik Saha now. Look at the picture, because whenever you try to retain the names with pictures, you are able to retain it well. That is why I actually fix these pictures here. When you move to the next question, new prime minister of Sri Lanka. A lot of discussion you may have seen in somebody's videos, or maybe you may have read a lot about Sri Lanka, but I am going to teach you straight away that question which is going to be asked in your exam, instead of narrating a story, long story or something. This kind of question is going to be there in your exam. You know that. Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. His name is Ranil Wickremesinghe. So Ranil Wickremesinghe, he is from United National Party. Look at the picture. Look at the picture. So Sri Lanka's new Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, he is from United National Party. I hope you may have realized till now. Chief Election Commissioner is super important for us. If it is the Prime Minister of Australia, or it is about UAE's head, or it is about you can say Sri Lanka's Prime Minister, each and every question is super important. Please don't leave any question. Try to watch the video till the end, because I really don't feel that in my question I include any question which does not carry any significance, and I've just added it like that. So if the question is important, that is why it is added. Look at the new appointment now. New president of Costa Rica. New president of Costa Rica. His name is Rodrigo Chavez. His name is Rodrigo Chavez. That is the name of this person who's there on your screen now. Next president of Philippines, Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Look at the pictures, try to relate them, because you see them in news, you see them somewhere on social media. So that's how you need to already know that this fellow is basically Rodrigo Chavez, president of Costa Rica, and Ferdinand Marcos Jr., president of Philippines. The next point is about new CMD of HPCL. CMD of HPCL, his name is Pushpakumar Joshi. And the fourth question, new foreign secretary, Vinay Mohan Kawatra. Vinay Mohan Kawatra has become new foreign secretary. Please understand that if somebody is appointed as foreign secretary, is such a thing that you need to learn. It is important. That is why it is there in my video, because I try my level best to include such questions, because they are going to be there in your exam. New foreign secretary, Vinay Mohan Kawatra. Try to relate them. And the next question is about India in focus. See, the country is that huge. We all know that. Our country is that huge. It remains in focus for some or the other reason. So that is basically the topic I've written here. India in focus for what? Pretty important question. FDI, foreign direct investment. When we say inflows, that means money is coming in, and inflow is that. So foreign direct investment inflows to India, that means it is coming to India for the year 21-22, referring to that financial year only. It is $83.57 billion. The amount is huge. We all know that. $83.57 billion. Now, see, what is it about? If we say FDI inflow to India, You need to understand there are nations which remained on top while investing. When you look at the total investment, you will be actually looking at the number of nations which have actually invested in India. So there are nations which have invested who remained on top. There are actually states which remained on top to receive that FDI. So I'll be actually talking about them, like that. Top investors. That means here I'm going to talk about the nations. Number 1 country, Singapore. Number 2, USA. And number 3, Mauritius. When you talk about top recipients, see, there are top countries which have invested in India, but I am saying there are top states also. Among all the states, there are top states also which have received more than other states. So the number 1 state, Karnataka. Number 2 state, Maharashtra. Number 3 state, Delhi. So this sequence has to be learned. This sequence is important. 3 of the nations and 3 of the states are significant for you. India is chair of Association of Asian Election Authorities. Just look at this name. Association of Asian Election Authorities. So I'm saying Asian Election Authorities chaired by India for the year 22-24. Which Association of Asian Election Authorities we are referring to, which has its headquarters in Manila. And where is Manila? Manila is in Philippines. So try to learn that. Manila, Philippines, and the headquarters of Asian Election Authority, which is going to be headed by India for the financial year 22-24. The next question is, okay, we'll start with sports news now. That's the topic. From here we are going to talk about sports a lot. And when we start, sports, you need to learn it like that. India win Thomas Cup 2022. It was there all over on social media. You may have seen that, but there are a few points which are significant and there's a possibility I feel that you may have missed. So I'm going to repeat that. It was there all over on social media that India won Thomas Cup. First, even after reading such a thing, there's a possibility you may have forgotten what it is associated with. Thomas Cup is associated with badminton, first thing. Second thing, India won that by beating Indonesia. Thomas Cup is associated with badminton. Second thing, India won that. India actually lifted Thomas Cup by beating Indonesia. That is the important question. And I'm referring to the year 2022. Okay. Then you proceed with the next question. It is about South Korea wins Uber Cup 2022 by beating China. Even as such sort of nations are there, and if Uber Cup is taking place, so you need to learn the name of these two. You can say runner up and winner too. South Korea defeated China and lifted and won Uber Cup. And if the question is there in your mind that Uber Cup is associated with which sport, this is also associated with badminton. If you have noticed something, even on social media, you may have seen that boys were actually there, the people who were participating, they were males. That's how you are able to retain, that's how you'll be able to retain well that Thomas Cup is associated with men badminton championship. I wish to tell you that. And when you talk about Uber Cup, it is also a team event like the Thomas Cup, but you need to understand this is for females. This is basically a women tournament. Now South Korea win Uber Cup 2022 by beating China. That I'm referring to, teams of South Korea and team of China was beaten, but women were participating. But both are associated with badminton and both took place at Bangkok, Thailand. So that is why you need to know that venue for both Uber Cup and Thomas Cup was Bangkok, Thailand. When I move to the next question, this girl was there all over social media, all over. Nikhat Zareen. She has also become very famous now. When I write something in bracket here, when I talk about boxing and all, then you need to understand this is the category, boxing or weightlifting. This is the category in which she was playing. 52 kg category in which Nikhat Zareen bagged gold. She brought gold, she won gold, and I'm saying that at 12th World Boxing Championship by beating the name of the runner-up is important. See, for us, learning the name of Nikhat Zareen is not difficult at all. You know that. Learning the name of Jitpong Jutamas is difficult for us. That is why this name is going to be there in your exam. Runner-ups are important. She's from Thailand. And this tournament took place at Istanbul, Turkey. I'll repeat that. Nikhat Zareen bagged gold in 52 kg category, and when I say it was the 12th numbers World Boxing Championship which took place at Istanbul, Turkey, and Nikhat Zareen defeated Thailand's Jitpong Jutamas to bag that title, to receive that title. Let's proceed with the next question. Okay, now what is there? It is there, Odisha wins 2022 Hockey Senior Women National Championship. Now, you must be thinking why Odisha is there. Read the words carefully. Hockey Senior Women National Championship. As it was national championship, obviously states are participating, you can say states, and they were participating, and one state is going to win and the other state is going to be defeated. So Odisha won Hockey Senior Women National Championship by defeating Karnataka. So it was of 12th number. I'll repeat that. Hockey Championship, Senior Championship, Women's Championship took place. Odisha won that, defeated Karnataka, and the number of it was 12th. When I proceed with the next question, Haryana's mascot at 2021 Khelo India Youth Games, 4th Dhakad. Must be thinking that I've taught you in the previous video. It was Tiger, it was Black Buck, it was Jaya, it was Vijay. Please understand that if such a picture is there on your screen, you need to learn 3 of the mascots. Now I'm going to explain what is the difference. Please be focused. When you see Tiger, that is Vijay. Black Buck is Jaya. These are the 2 permanent mascots of Khelo India Youth Games. Permanent mascots, they are going to stay. Now I am saying Haryana is the place where these games are taking place this time. And Haryana's mascot is Dhakad. So that is why Dhakad is there, and Vijay and Jaya, they are there too. Why such a picture is there? Because 3 of them are the mascots. Please understand that. Now if you see such a question in your exam, if Jaya and Vijay, they are not there in the option, you can mark Dhakad as the answer because it is becoming very famous these days. But you can even check the government's website. You can say PIB or some website of that sort, where it is clearly written that Jaya and Vijay are the permanent mascots, and for the state Haryana, Haryana's mascot is Dhakad. These are the 4th numbers Khelo India Youth Games which are taking place now for the previous year. Okay. Next question is India's rank on 2021. Read the year also. Deaf Olympics, 24th numbers held at Caxias do Sul. It is in Brazil, and India's rank is 9th. You must be, trying to, learn all that what is written here. I'll add something to it, but I'll repeat that because I was pretty quick. I hope you were not able to understand. They're asking, this is the question about India's rank somewhere. India's rank where? India's rank at Deaf Olympics. Deaf Olympics. When somebody asks you where they were taking place, they were taking place as at Caxias do Sul. Where is that place located? It is in Brazil. I am referring to 24th numbers Deaf Olympics. Now if somebody asks you the mascot I was referring to, the mascot is Nino. And if you look at this Nino, it is basically a coati, ring-tailed coati. And if you are not aware, I am referring to, you may have heard the name of raccoons. It is from raccoons family. So coati species, When you see the rings here, such sort of rings I'm referring to. So happy, lucky, cheerful. So that sort of Nino is there in front of you. That is basically the mascot of Deaf Olympics. Now, when I mention India's rank is 9th, and when you actually see the breakup here as 8G, 1S and 8B, you will not be able to understand. Probably you will be able to. But I'll explain that. 8 golds, 1 silver and 8 bronze. That is why India actually achieved the rank that is 9th. So India's rank at Deaf Olympics is 9th. Let's move ahead with the next question. Now, the topic is important days or dates. Let's start with important days for the month of May and World Telecom and Information Society Day. The day is Telecom and Information Society Day, which is observed on 17th May. This year's theme, I found it important, although it is difficult, but you have to retain it. Digital Technologies, Technology Day, Digital Technologies. Technology Day, Digital Technologies for older persons. Who is actually the area of focus now? Older persons. And healthy aging. Digital technologies for older persons and healthy aging. That's the theme for World Telecom and Information Society Day, which is observed on 17th May. When you proceed with the next question, it is about International Day of Families. That is observed on 15th May. International Day of Families is observed on 15th May. When you look at the theme for it, I found it important. That is why I have written it here. Families and Urbanization. Families and Urbanization is the theme for International Day of Families. International Museum Day is observed on 18th May. International Museum Day is observed on 18th May. That is my birthday as well. So learn it like that. International Museum Day is observed on 18th May. Let's move to the next question. Okay, important day is National Technology Day is observed on 11th May. National Technology Day is observed on 11th May. See, all the days which I am actually teaching you, they are super significant. Please try to learn them and retain them. National Technology Day is observed on 11th May. International Nurses Day is observed on 12th May. International Nurses Day is observed on 12th May. World Hypertension Day is observed on 17th May. World Hypertension Day is observed on 17th May. World Migratory Bird Day. World Migratory Bird Day is observed twice actually. It is World Migratory Bird Day observed twice. 14th May or 8th October? No. This year they are actually celebrated on 14th May and 8th October. Does not mean that every year they are celebrated on 14th May and 8th October only. The reason was second Saturday of May or second Saturday of October. Second Saturday of May and second Saturday of October, they are considered World Migratory Bird Days. When we proceed with the theme of it, it is light pollution. See, light pollution, we are not saying pollution should be light. We are saying light. That means we are talking about light means bulb and you can say that light should be less. That pollution should be less so that birds would not get confused, while flying, to be very frank with you. That light, because that gets reflected a lot and, birds get confused because of that. That is why that light pollution. Don't misunderstand that. Light pollution, its impact. That's the theme for World Migratory Bird Day. Let's proceed with the next question. Okay. From here on, I'll be talking a lot about banking also. Those students who are writing banking exams, not only IBPS and not only you can say SBI, there are other exams also, RBI assistant, there are, students who write many other, bank exams. Please be focused. It is not that I've wrapped up, the video which is actually going to be important for everyone. There are a few questions in between which I take up specially for, banking aspirants. I'll start with the first banking news, and that is about, if some bank has launched something of this sort, which is 30-minute express car loan launched by HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank has done something. What is that? They have launched express car loan. See, we have only heard about Domino's 30-minute delivery. Now they are saying we'll provide you loan in 30 minutes. HDFC is saying that, and that HDFC is calling it express car loan, which they'll be providing it in 30 minutes only. So remember the name of the bank. When I proceed with the next question, co-branded credit card by SpiceJet and Axis Bank. Both the names are important. Whenever some sort of co-branding is happening, at times it is asked. So co-branding between SpiceJet and Axis Bank, it is basically a credit card which they are coming up with. Okay, when you proceed with LIC, you may have received a lot many messages from your banks about LIC's IPO. What you need to know about LIC's IPO, that is basically India's biggest IPO, and the worth of it is 21,000 crores. 21,000 crores. Please understand that. Now, you must be thinking why I have written, this sort of word, government is disinvesting 3.5%. What does it mean? Government is selling its share in LIC. Obviously, when an IPO is launched, so government has its share. Government has its share. Government is disinvesting its share. And how much they are disinvesting? That means they are selling their share. Government is selling, its share. How much are they selling? 3.5% of LIC's share. They are selling, they are disinvesting. Try to learn this percentage as well. They can ask you that. Indian Bank unveils digital broking solution, that is e-broking. Indian Bank, I'm not saying India's bank. I'm saying the name of the bank is Indian Bank. Please look at the picture. That is why pictures are there so that you can associate them well. That is the name of the bank. Indian Bank is launching something, is coming up with something. And what is that? Digital broking solution. What is the name of that digital broking solution? That is e-broking. So e-broking is Indian Bank's e-broking. That's how you can retain it well. So these questions are important for your bank exam, and I'll proceed with more questions. Joint venture, general insurance. Joint venture, general insurance firm to be set up by Paytm. If such an organization is there, which remains in news for one or the other reason, everybody has Paytm, you'll find one single person, you'll rarely find one single person who does not have Paytm. So you can see that it is that huge. If something happens with Paytm, if something, some expansion Paytm is doing, you need to learn that. They'll obviously keep coming, up with more and more options. They'll be expanding a lot. Now they are coming up with general insurance. So general insurance firm, they are going to set up a general insurance firm. That is actually the news. It can be asked, who's doing that? Paytm is doing it. Separate rural banking vertical established in HDFC Bank. It is different. You know that they even come up with a lot many new things. That is why 30-minute delivery. No, it was not 30-minute delivery. It was 30-minute loan, basically. Car loan, express car loan, which they came up with. So new ideas are there. So HDFC Bank, came up with something new again, that a rural vertical, separate rural vertical, they have come up with. When you proceed with the next question, HDFC Bank to open 150 branches this year in UP. We are not saying all in all 150 only. They are coming up with more branches, and for this year they have planned just 150. It is that huge. For this year in UP they are opening new 150 branches. PhonePe to buy fintech firms. Now you will also rarely, as in you are not going to find any person who is not using PhonePe. PhonePe, Google Pay, Paytm. These are actually the top rankers, that. Now I'm saying if something is done by PhonePe, that becomes important from the perspective of your exam. PhonePe is buying, or you can say PhonePe is acquiring these fintech, companies, and there's a possibility they are going to be there in your exam and you have not heard anything about them. Learn their names because PhonePe is acquiring it. Wealth Desk, one, and OpenQ, the second one. So these are the companies, these are the fintech firms which will be acquired by PhonePe. Wealth Desk and OpenQ. Let's move to the next question. Okay, in banking news again, by July 2022, digital banking units to be set up in 75 districts. 75, 75, 75. India is going to complete, 75 years of independence, and that is what we are celebrating. And everywhere we are talking about 75, 75, 75. So that is why 75 districts. By July 2022, referring, to this year only, this year's July, digital banking units, more digital banking units to be set up in new 75 districts. First thing, it involves what? You need to understand, when we talk about banking units, banks have to be involved. If banking units, even, they are digital banking units are there. So banks have to be involved. What all banks are we referring to? We are saying all public sector banks, 10 private banks and 1 small finance bank. This particular initiative involves 75 districts where new digital, banking units, will be opened. Now we are saying what all banks are there behind this particular initiative. I've actually mentioned that. All public sector banks, 10 private banks, 1 small finance bank. This is the initiative which can be asked. You even understand that these many banks are involved, and it is about 75 districts. As 75 is there, that is why this question carries that significance. If you are still watching the video, do press the like button for sure. Government approves 820 crore funds for India Post Payments Bank. Government approves. Now what is important? What I'm going to highlight here, the amount and what for. 820 crores for India Post Payments Bank. Government approved 820 crores for India Post Payments Bank. India's first dental and health insurance. You know that dental health insurance is not offered by insurers. We know that. But PNB MetLife has come up with a new idea now, and that is first, that is why I mentioned it clearly, first dental health insurance by PNB MetLife. The next point is ICICI Bank signs MOU with British Bank, and that is Santander. Whenever you talk about something, that Santander, whenever you write it, they'll show you that it is a British bank. Now you need to learn it that ICICI Bank has signed an MOU with Santander. That is the name of the bank of UK. Okay, let's look at the next question now. Miscellaneous. That means you can read the title, as these are the questions which could not be kept under any category. So I'll start with the first question, which is Cyclone Asani. That is how they are pronouncing it. The name was given by Sri Lanka. That is important for you. It was forming in Bay of Bengal. That is important for you. Apart from that, what does it stand for? If they are actually naming it as Asani, what do they mean by saying that? They mean by saying that they're calling it Wrath. Wrath means anger, which is generally pronounced as Wrath. So Wrath or Wrath is anger. That is what this cyclone which is forming in Bay of Bengal, the name of it is Asani. That is what it means. The name was given by Sri Lanka. That is important. When you move to the next question, India's 52nd and 4th, you must be thinking that how can it be 52nd and 4th as well? Now I'm saying that it is 4th Tiger Reserve of Rajasthan first, and it is 52nd Tiger Reserve of India. That is what I mean by this particular sentence, where I am saying that this Ramgarh Vishdhari Sanctuary, Ramgarh Vishdhari Wildlife Sanctuary has actually become Tiger Reserve, and it is basically 4th Tiger Reserve for Rajasthan and 52nd Tiger Reserve for India. When you move to the next question, this is something important. You may consider it very important. When somebody asks you in the exam, where is Rakhi Gadi? You'll answer it as Rakhi Gadi is in Haryana if you are aware. But you will be considering it a question of history. But that is actually the question of current affairs, because something was found here in Rakhi Gadi. Rakhi Gadi is basically an Indus Valley civilization site. If you have heard something about Indus Valley civilization, we teach Indus Valley civilization in our course completely. So if you are willing, you can actually join our live course. You can join our video program also if you wish to study from us. So Indus Valley Civilization, only this much for now. Indus Valley Civilization site, Rakhigadi, which is in Haryana, and I am saying 5,000-year-old jewelry was not found. 5,000-year-old jewelry factory was unearthed. You need to understand, when archaeologists are there at one particular site, they are keep on excavating the site, they are keep on searching newer things, they come up with newer things. So this time they've unearthed something huge, and that is 5,000-year-old jewelry factory at Rakhigadi, Haryana, and Rakhigadi is an Indus Valley civilization site. The next question is people in news, pretty important sort of people who are there on your screen now. For the very first time, you need to learn that. For the very first time, what is happening? Look at the pictures of these girls. For the very first time, that means first Indian to win gold. Gold at what? Gold at Junior World Weightlifting Championship in Heraklion, Greece. Heraklion is in Greece. That can also be the question. What actually took place here? Junior World Weightlifting Championship took place here. Who won that? Harshada Sharad Garud won that. Harshada Sharad Garud won that. The category in which she was actually, playing 45 kg, that was her category. And she is the first Indian to bag gold in this, championship. Please understand that. When I move to the next question, where we are going to discuss first Indian woman to scale 5, keep them separate actually. 8,000 meter plus peaks, Priyanka Mohite. Look at the picture. This is Priyanka Mohite. You need to understand there are many peaks which are higher than 8,000 meter. One of them is Mount Everest. You are aware of the same. If somebody has actually conquered, that means if somebody has reached that peak, and if somebody has reached such sort of 5 peaks, please understand that this is what she has done. 5 peaks which are actually higher than 8,000 meters. That is Priyanka Mohite. The next question is about Padma Vibhushan Shiv Kumar Sharma. He died recently. You may have heard that. It was there on social media all over. They may ask you in the exam, who is Shiv Kumar Sharma? He was associated with Santoor. And he was Padma Vibhushan awardee as well. Let's proceed with the next question. Okay, the next topic is state news. So in state news, we are going to start with Jammu and Kashmir. Government notifies new electoral map. Electoral map is not map actually. If you are thinking of that some map will be shown, it is not that. They are coming up with seats, like what seats, how many seats are going to be there in Jammu and how many seats are going to be there in Kashmir, for which they are going to fight. Electoral map, they came up with electoral map. You can understand such a question can also be there in your exam. It is an important thing because they are coming up with seats. The decision of seats is made. I am saying Jammu 43 seats and Kashmir 47 seats. That means in total Jammu and Kashmir 90 seats. So many seats actually. Learn it like that. Now, Head of Delimitation Commission, Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. If you are thinking why such a point is there, is this point associated with the prior point? Yes, it is. It has some association that I'll talk about it. But till now, you just have to learn that Jammu 43 seats, Kashmir 47 seats. In total, electoral map says, as in it comes out and 90 seats are there with these two, Jammu and Kashmir. Now, who is heading the Delimitation Commission? Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. And why this particular thing is associated with it, I'll explain that, in a shorter way. Delimitation Commission, as the word limit is there, You can understand, you can call it boundary commission as well. Government decides on the basis of census of 2001. Census is not that important, I'm just saying census, where we count the number of people who are living in India, if you understand it like that. So census 2021, as per that the government of India decides you can say seats for the state assemblies. And if they do such a thing, that comes under this delimitation commission. That is what the decision is, made by the government of India under, this particular thing, which is going to be headed by Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. As the seats of Jammu and Kashmir were getting decided, that is why this delimitation commission comes into the picture. Old pension schemes to be reinstated in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. See, every person, requires that old pension scheme to be reinstated. But these are to Congress. Obviously, the benefits are there. That is why everybody wants, this old pension scheme. We know that. Old pension scheme should be, brought back. Every government servant wants that. As government of India removes it, you know that. But in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, Congress governments have done that. They reinstated that old pension schemes for the welfare of people. When you proceed with the next question, Lok Milni, as the word Milni is there, we know it should be associated with Punjab only, where they are going to take, complaints from the people. We'll see that as well. So Lok Milni scheme they are coming up with in Punjab. They are going to redress public complaints there. That is what I've told you. So these are the important 4 questions, and I told you, please learn that carefully. If, 4 questions are there on one page, and if such sort of 22 pages are there, you are at least, I am being very conservative, I am not calculating, that 20 should be multiplied with 4. I am just saying, even if 3 questions are there, you will be at least learning 60 questions, 60 newer points in my video. Try to press the like button for sure, because I have actually brought these many points for you, and I hope you are learning with me. And please don't skip any question. Please don't do that. As we are proceeding with state news only, India's first state-owned OTT, C-Space Kerala. Now, OTT platforms are there. We know that. You all, watch, shows on OTT nowadays. Now, what is important? What is different? Kerala is coming up with its own OTT platform. Why they are doing so? Because obviously, regional movies are there, regional shows are there. And if such sort of things are happening, they require a place where they can promote their language. Because, they don't actually get proper recognition or something, or proper place to be launched. C-Space is the name of OTT platform of Kerala. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Shresthaji project gets $350 million from World Bank. You can understand that Shresthaji is something. It is a project, we all know that. It is something important because World Bank is actually providing money to it. What is this project all about? G means Gujarat. First you need to learn it like that. Keep it aside. G means Gujarat. Let's break it and let's learn the full form of it. Shrestha SS Systems. When we say R, first R is reform. E is endeavors. Endeavors, efforts. So this is S here. That is what S stands for. T is transformed. H is health. A is achievement. Now I'm going to remove that. What is important about Shrestha Ji? G is Gujarat and Shrestha Ji is getting money from World Bank. How much money Shrestha Ji is getting from World Bank? That is $350 million. And what is the full form? Expanded forms are asked in the exam, you know that. If 4 options are given, if 5 options are given, whichever exam you are writing, they may change only 1 or 2 words, from that, and they'll give you such sort of close options. So learn that carefully. Systems reform, endeavors for transformed health achievement in Gujarat. That is what Shrestha Ji stands for. Then you move to the next question. It is India's first biogas powered EV charging station at Mumbai. Look at the picture. That's how you'll be able to learn it. India's first biogas powered EV charging, electric vehicle we are referring to, that is EV. So EV charging station at Mumbai, but you must be thinking what is new. It is biogas powered. That is what is new about this particular thing, and it is coming up in Mumbai. When you look at the next question, see, when I talk about first, that becomes important. India's first, these are basically the inaugurations. India's first center of excellence for Khadi. Khadi coming up, or you can say opens at New Delhi. So India's first center of excellence for Khadi. That is why the logo Khadi sort of thing is there, so that you can associate it. Charkha of Gandhiji. New Delhi, Khadi. Now, National Intelligence Grid. You will read it as NATGrid everywhere. So National Intelligence Grid campus opens in Bengaluru. National Intelligence Grid campus opens in Bengaluru. And when you actually look at the third point, National Cyber Forensic Laboratory. National Cyber Forensic Laboratory opens at Central Forensic Science Lab, Hyderabad. Now, when you talk about National Cyber Forensic Laboratory, it is in Hyderabad. If somebody asks you where it is opening, if you want to be very precise about it, then Central Forensic Science Laboratory is the place where it is coming up, at, and Hyderabad is the place for this as well. When you move to the next question, new warships. Okay, if you feel that what Udaygiri is, what INS Surat is, they are warships only. If I get into their details, I'll explain them like that they are second stealth frigate of Project 17A. You have to learn it. If you talk about frigate is also a warship, lighter than, you can say, a destroyer, but frigate is also a warship. I am saying second stealth frigate of Project 17A. It is INS Udaygiri and INS Surat, which is basically fourth guided missile destroyer of Project 15B. What are they? I was saying India's new warships are Udaygiri and Surat. That is what I was saying. Built by Mazagaon Docks Limited. Mazagaon Dockyard or Mazagaon Docks Limited. When I say fourth India, Bangladesh Naval Corpat, it is coordinated patrol. Coordinated patrol, that is Corpat, that is the expanded form of Corpat. Fourth India Bangladesh Naval Corpat held in Northern Bay of Bengal. See, Bay of Bengal is even huge. If they want to be precise, you have to learn it like that. It took place in Northern Bay of Bengal, Corpat, between India and Bangladesh. It was naval, that is why Bay of Bengal. When we proceed with the next question. Okay, it is international news, that's the heading. International news, and we'll start with World Economic Forum. This is going to be the last page of my session today, and that is why you should feel even more motivated. Please look at these questions with full interest, with full vigor. World Economic Forum's annual meet. Till now, I hope you have realized it, that whatever I have taught you, that was important. Even these questions at the last page, they are so super important that we are talking about World Economic Forum here. Please. So World Economic Forum's annual meet 2022. We generally listen to it as Davos, Switzerland only, but you have to learn it. So I am just repeating it. It was 52nd numbers World Economic Forum's annual meet, which took place at Davos, Switzerland. When I move to the theme of it, working together, restoring trust. Working together, restoring trust. And the second theme for this is history at a turning point. History at a turning point, government policies and business strategies. So, history at a turning point, government policies and business strategies, that is actually the theme, two themes which were written for World Economic Forum's annual meet, which took place in Davos, Switzerland, and it was of 52nd number. S. Jaishankar attends BRICS Foreign Ministers meet organized by China. It was a virtual meet, and this S. Jaishankar is our External Affairs Minister. It was Foreign Ministers meet, that is why our representation was done by S. Jaishankar only. So, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, BRICS, Foreign Ministers meet organized by China. President Kovind, our President Ramnath Kovind inaugurated something. So President Ramnath Kovind inaugurated Dr. Ambedkar Avenue. Dr. Ambedkar Avenue, it is basically a street in Kingston, Jamaica. Dr. Ambedkar Avenue, a street in Kingston, Jamaica, as it was in the name of Dr. Ambedkar. That is why this question becomes important for us. Our president inaugurated this street, this avenue, and it is in Kingston, Jamaica. So I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have understood everything, you can press the like button. If you could not, you can watch the Hindi video that is also there in the playlist. Thank you so much for watching.